Denim is in demand at Plato's Closet in West Ashley and North Charleston. Get cash on the spot for everything denim. Bring in your trendy and classic styles of gently used name brand denim. Get paid for your denim shorts, skirts, jackets, jeans, and more. We're looking for denim that is blue, black, or a bold color, and jeans in styles like mom jeans, bootcut, baggy, flared, and ripped. We want everything denim. Sell your denim for cash at Plato's Closet today. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Ooh, emergency podcast. We released a podcast. We did the draft recap pod last night. No weight at all in terms of what happened. And we even talked about it a little bit last night in terms of the possible signing of Tyrann Mathieu and him coming home to Louisiana. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but as things quickly change in the NFL, Tyrann Mathieu is officially coming back to Louisiana. He's going to sign with the Saints on a deal, 3 years, $33 million. We'll see, how it works out. So we're going to dive all into that and have like an emergency podcast talking about Mathieu being signed. But before we get into that, I wanted to actually address this at the beginning of the podcast instead of waiting to the end when people have already kind of tuned out or stopped listening. Guys, we are very excited just in terms of where the podcast is going in totality, just where we started from 2+ years ago. Right now for our Patreon, we have 105 active Patreons. Donating something to us or contributing something to us per month. That helps, like Ryan said on yesterday's show, helps towards us being able to put things together, like going to Vegas and covering the draft and going to the Senior Bowl and stuff like that. So I said it last night, but it's at the end of the podcast. So I'm going to say at the beginning of this one, if you're listening to this podcast, and if you're not a Patreon, please, if you can afford it, and again, big emphasis on if you can afford it, please become a Patreon. Even if you can't do a lot, I broke it down because I was going through our podcast numbers. We average anywhere from 1,600 listens to 2,200 listens, right? Out of those 1,600 to 2,200 listens, we have 105 active Patreons. So if you're listening to this right now, if you're not a Patreon, please, if you can, become a Patreon, even if it's just $1. We have a lot of things in store for our Patreons in terms of incentive things. The live stream that we did during the draft, the Zoom live stream for all our Patreons who had access to the Zoom link, who participated, was amazing. We're going to try it out during the preseason. So we're going to try out and have these live stream Zoom sessions that's going to be streaming on YouTube of us all watching a Saints preseason game, having drinks, getting jokes out, see how it goes in the preseason. No, my only concern about it is with football in terms of streaming and things like that. Sometimes like there's a delay, like someone may be ahead in their reaction, but I've kind of, as a Saints fan, like it doesn't bother me kind of knowing what happens anymore. Like it used to. I didn't want to know. Now I'm like, whatever. So we're gonna try it out in preseason. We have some raffles we have in store. So our big goal to get to before the start of the season is 200 Patreons. We're at 105. So we need 95 more people who listen to this podcast to just make the commitment. Not only are we doing the live streams during the preseason, and then if it works out, we're going to do it during the regular season. But we're going to we keep talking about our Discord. Our Discord has become like its own little community and place in itself. I love our Discord. So I wanted to put that before we start talking football stuff. We appreciate what Minute Media has done for us and all that and giving us kind of a bigger platform and obviously giving us more listeners. but a big part of our podcast is still very much the Patreon stuff. And so I did want to address that at the beginning instead of waiting to the end. Anything that you want to add as well?
No, man, you pretty much hit on all of it. The more that we can get coming in, the more we could just kind of circle back and reinvest in the podcast to give us the flexibility to, not only improve on what we can do for our Patreons and the listeners, but also improve on, the quality we can bring. We can do more video, more content, better video, invest in equipment and stuff like that, and really get this thing going. I've been having ideas about, a statistics database for a long time, like an email list and a newsletter that can go out for a long time that I just, really hadn't had the incentive or the time to really put together. But, that's something we could do if there'd be enough people interested. So, yeah, like I said, man, like we're not sitting here like, oh, we need this money, but, whatever you can give, $1, $2 a month, whatever, we really appreciate, like we really do appreciate it. It's not like we sitting there buying Louis Vuitton bags with it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Absolutely not.
This is incentive to show us that, that we're doing something that brings you some kind of value. But we like, honestly, I can't even, it's a blessing to me. Like what the 105 Patreons we got now, like you guys are, brings the tears to my eye, man. It's just crazy.
And not everyone, but like there are some of the 105 who've been Patreons or, since we've started, like when we first started doing the whole Patreon thing. Yeah. So we truly, truly appreciate all of y'all. If you're listening, and it's not a Patreon and you've been thinking about it and blah, blah, just, we're just trying to get that goal to 200. And then I'm not gonna lie, bro. Once we get to 200, bro, I don't want 300. Like this is something that we don't want it to stop. We this has become like it's been a big project passion of ours for a while. But like Ryan kind of alluded to, like we do this as a side hustle, not even a side hustle. We do it because we enjoy to do it. But this is also like a side thing that we do. Ryan has a full-time career. I have a full-time career. Sometimes, perfect example is today. I left home at 7:30. I didn't get home until like 6:30 p.m. But, here I am recording, talking about Tyrann Mathieu because, one, we got to talk about it, right? Like, that's a huge fucking thing in the state of Louisiana. And two, like, I enjoy talking football, right? So, and I know that for whatever reason, people like to listen to us talk football. So, just we appreciate you if you have the means to, and if you can. We also between, like I said it loud in the last podcast, there's going to be a big period of like dead time coming up. Like the NFL is just going to go silent. I know our numbers and our listeners are just going to drop. That's just the cyclical cycle of how it is because I've seen it. But just because the NFL does go dead doesn't mean that the podcast goes dead. So we have some guests in mind, some football related, some not football related. Like we have some things that we just have, for our listeners that we're excited about. But anyhow, let's get into this signing. I would say Mathieu signing with the Saints and Chris Olave being drafted is two of like, and I didn't even check Twitter during the Olave drafting because we were we were together and we were doing the live stream. But Saints Twitter, after Tyrann signed, and just those are two moves that have the fan base just on cloud nine right now, bro. Cloud nine.
Yep, and I love it. I love seeing it, bro. Like I was tweeting today, man. Just the little kid looking down with the cup, just like like watching the kids open Christmas presents or whatever, man. I just like seeing it, man. I like seeing Saints Twitter happy, whether it's rational or not, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just good to see, the fans enjoy the off season, especially this off season, which has been, more depressing than that. Losing players. Sean Payton left. Like, it's kind of crazy. Get replaced with DA. Losing, Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus Williams, Malcolm Jenkins retiring. So it's been kind of a bummer of an offseason, but, for those moves to happen, just inject us with a little life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just a little life. We feel like, okay.
Going after
Vegas, man. You look at the Vegas odds for like the Super Bowl and, winning the division and stuff like that. The odds going up. So, it's feeling good.
It is. What I want to say one thing, because I meant to say it earlier and I almost forgot. If you are already a Patreon donator and you're contributing to the podcast, please, if you want access to the Twitter communities, although I don't suggest it, or more importantly, the Discord, please send Ryan or myself a DM on Twitter, so we can shoot you the link. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few people who are Patreons that don't have the link. Either you don't want to join, or if you did, like you haven't received it yet, please get it to us so we can shoot it to you, and then you can join the Discord. So it's great seeing that euphoric feeling. It's funny. I was thinking about them drafting Chris Olave and how we reacted at the Mexican restaurant. And last night we said it was like they had won a playoff game. You know what it really reminded me of was if you remember when they go into like the war room of teams after they draft like the player that they wanted, and all like, nigga, that was us. You would have thought we drafted Chris Olave, bro.
Exactly.
Like we made the call.
Like we made the call, man. That's exactly what it was like. And I always get a kick out of that, like how they celebrate that stuff. But that's imagine being there making the pick. So that's exactly what they feel like.
That's how I felt, bro. Like, yes, we got him.
Man, we talked about this dude like day one, like when we started looking at the draft.
It's not even day one looking at the draft. I remember seeing him his junior season with Justin Fields. And again, you go back and listen to previous episodes. But I said his 2020 film is much better than his tape last year, just because he just had better rapport with Justin Fields. Like you go back and watch that game against Clemson, and I don't know why his cut-ups of that entire game isn't on YouTube for whatever reason, but he wore out the Clemson secondary that game, bro. He was, and I remember that season. I said, man, I would love for the Saints to draft him, because everyone thought he was going to declare last season, and he didn't. He went back to school. So like my kind of like him wanting to be a Saint started last season. So the fact that he ended up a Saint like 2 seasons after that is kind of wild. Like it's just shit that typically does not happen. But anyway, let's talk about Honey Badger coming home. You can speak more to it, obviously, in terms of like the significance it means to the state of Louisiana. It's 100% going to be the most bought jersey in the state of Louisiana, hands down, bro. But just talk about him coming home and what that means to the state for someone who maybe is a Saints fan like myself, but was not born in Louisiana. Maybe help us understand like what it means to the state.
Well, I mean, one, just him being, just one of the greatest LSU players to play, for LSU. He was just a dog, man. He was a dog. He was a playmaker. Just swag, just dripping with swag. And, for New Orleans folks, man, he was a New Orleans boy. You know what I'm saying? With the St. Aug High School, was a baller in high school. I remember hearing about him. I think about his senior year. I used to hear about him at St. Aug. Went to LSU, dogged out there, and he just had that New Orleans, that just New Orleans flavor to him, and everybody just loved him, man. He is a trendsetter. He had the gold hair and he just, me mugging the camera after pick 6, arms folded, pissing off the white commentators. They're like, oh, this is this isn't a classy thing to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you piss them off. We just loved it, bro. Like, that's just that stuff we just love. We just love that type of shit, man. And
Right.
you know, and when the whole thing went down, when he got suspended that final year and all that, you know, got caught up with hanging with the wrong crowd, you know, because dudes from, you know, if you know about New Orleans, you from the Seventh Ward, you know about the Seventh Ward, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got caught up in all that, you know what I'm saying? He got caught up in that whole lifestyle, you know, and he persevered, honestly. And
he really did, man.
He really did. And one of the things I remember, you know, so many Saints fans wanted to draft him when he was coming out. And I remember being like, I don't think he want to come. You know, I think he understands that what he knows what's best for him is to not be back in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And I understood, and I think everybody knew that. You know, so him going to the Cardinals and just kind of, you know, working, you know, Patrick Peterson, playing with him and just, you know, just becoming just a professional. And he has respect among the league. Everybody respects him. He's a leader, bro. Like, everywhere he's played, he's been a leader. So he's just one of those players that, you know, we just happy to have, especially Louisiana people. We're just happy because he's just a hometown boy, you know. As far as play on the field, you know, we'll get to that later. But just the personality aspect, the dude is a Louisiana star, man. Like, you know, up there with, you know, Peyton Manning, you know, so many, you know, Odell Beckham, all great, and the thing is, he's part of that great LSU team.
Yep.
That went to the championship and just, you know, just had tons of NFL talent on
it. I think just the cultural fit. And I go back, this kind of goes back to Sean, right? And what he built. I shouldn't say him in a vacuum, because it wasn't just him, but I think a lot of it was his vision, is what he built after kind of cleaning out some locker room personalities in 2015, 2016 with the Jimmy Graham thing, the Kenny Stills thing, the Junior Gillette thing. You know, just kind of got them out the locker room, and he just started building this culture of players that had swag, but they're also accountable. They were dogs for the most part, clean cut-ish dudes. But, you know, he just built this culture in this locker room that, when I think of him being added to it, it's just like a perfect fit, man.
Right.
And him, Mario, like, now it's like, who gonna lead like the team huddle before games? Is it gonna be TM? Is it gonna be DeMario? You know, you got CD Deuce, like I can just see him and, you know, Tyrann and CD just being BFFs, man, just dogs on the field. And it wasn't lost on me that, and maybe it was just like this for like accounting purposes, that he signed for, what was it, 3 years, $33 million, which is like 0.5 more than what Eric Reed signed for with the Chiefs. It's like, which is
because he said that. He said, man, if they offered me a Reed contract, I would have took it.
Right? Yeah. So I know that was kind of like a fuck you, like, and we know, I want to see what the contract actually looks like, because I know there's some buddy money on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've talked about this, right? We talked about it even last night. Is like you're still a defensive led team, and you got to lean into that. So you brought in Mathieu. I think the next move should be fucking bringing Quan back. Like, just if you're gonna go that route, just go head first. Like, don't even stick your toe in it. Just dive into it. Let's talk about the defense, the Saints defense, and where they are now and how it looks coming into this upcoming season. I'll say this. It is one of the most talented Saints defenses we've ever had.
Oh, no question. No question about it.
I would argue potentially last year's was probably a little more, and I guess I don't want to say it's splitting hairs, but I think what Marcus Williams could bring you as his range, I think can't really be understood from like a casual football fan's perspective.
Right.
It can't be, you can't kind of wrap your head around it. But that said, I'm going down through, I'm gonna name the defensive starters, right? You have Marcus Davenport, you have David Onyemata, potentially starting next to him, I don't know, maybe Katavius Street, maybe Shy Tuttle, like the second defensive tackle is still kind of a question mark. Got Cam Jordan, and then I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of Hoofer / Peyton Turner rotate in. Linebackers, you got Demario Davis, you got Pete Warner. Corners on the outside, you got Marshawn, who played like a top 3 cornerback last year. You got Paulson Adebo, who started as a rookie, as a 3rd-round pick, and had his up and downs, but for the most part, looked pretty fucking damn good as a rookie cornerback, especially being drafted in the 3rd round. You got CD Deuce in the slot. You got Bradley Roby, can play interchangeably. And at safety, you got Marcus May, who was playing well before he tore his Achilles for the Jets. You got PJ Williams to come in, kind of play that 3rd safety spot. And you got Tyrann Mathieu. Dennis Allen has so many things he can do defensively, disguise-wise, being interchangeable. Ooh, bruh. Like on paper, the amount of coverages DA can run is huge. But I'm going to say this though, and I'm not being facetious, and I'm trying not to be hyperbolous when I say it. Even with Honey Badger coming to the Saints, this defense being very good to being great hinges on Peyton Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I
literally wanted to tweet that today. But I just didn't want to bring any negativity.
No, I get it. But if Peyton Turner could be, I don't want to make comparisons, but if he could just be a disruptive force 60% of the game-ish, then you're dealing with a whole different type of thing, man.
Absolutely. Because think about it. Then you got, let's look at the depth chart. You got Davenport, Peyton Turner, you got Taco Charlton, look, whatever we get from him, great.
You know who I forgot, though? The guy who played great for them last year as a sneaky signing that we didn't think much about is Tano, bruh. Tano
will be back. You got Cam Jordan. You got, Big Creek. That's a lot of pass rush, bro. That's a lot of pass rush. That's just your outside pass rush.
Right.
You still got David Onyemata. We'll see how Street comes along. We remember him destroying Drew Brees' ribs.
Linguini, bro.
Malcolm, you have Malcolm Rhodes. You got the rookie Jordan Jackson. You got, Shy Tuttle coming back.
Somebody getting cut, bro.
Oh, somebody gonna get cut. It could be Jalen Dalton. I like him, but it's gonna be somebody, bro. Because they got a D line, bro. And that's the thing. Like, Marcus May, he hadn't played with a defensive line like this. So
that's true. That's a good point. That's a great point, man.
If he's healthy, you could see him and look, man, Jets have been kind to us, man. We've been benefits from the Jets over the years.
Jonathan Vilma, Demario Davis.
Maybe that's the only 2, but you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe let's just keep it going, man. Like, so if they could just string it all together, stay relatively healthy, because there will be injuries. But I like the depth.
Yes.
Pretty much on all parts of the offense. But like you said, man, Peyton Turner,
he's the key, man.
If he could be a disruptive force, it's just so much flexibility. And you're not depending on Cam Jordan to be like a
Superman,
12, 13 sack. No, you're not depending on him to be like, just be good. Just be good, Cam Jordan. And you can move him inside and outside and all around. Marcus Davenport, if he could just be healthy, like he was for the most part last year. He was, for the most part, he
for the most part, yeah.
And he showed out. Like when he came back, that allowed Cam Jordan to be great. And so just getting all the keys back together, man, it'll be huge. And then I like the coaching staff we have on defense, man. Like
I do.
You got Chris Richard, obviously DA, he's the lead dog. He's gonna control his defense, but Chris Richard, he really understands coverages. He's not beholden to like cover 3 or nothing like that. He's just a smart dude. So he's gonna coach these guys up and put them in the position to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that might be. You're gonna see a lot of mixed coverages. DA always talked about interchangeable pieces in the secondary, and that's what you get with people like Tyrann, people like PJ, CD Deuce. Those dudes are interchangeable. They don't have to play in the box. CD Deuce can man up a tight end. Tyrann Mathieu can man up a tight end. Tyrann Mathieu can blitz. CD Deuce can blitz. PJ Williams can blitz.
You have no idea what's coming, bro. You have no idea.
No idea. But Marcus May can blitz and can play coverage. You just don't know. So it just frees up things. It's going to be different. A lot of people was trying to compare. You can't compare none of those players to Marcus Williams. They just
can't do it. Can't do it.
It's just different. It's not about better or worse. It's just different, man. They do different things, but with the right approach, it could be great. Now, Will Warren, Saints fans, kind of be prepared, especially early in the season, for like miscommunications, and you might see a leaky bus here and there, because we've seen it even with the defenses we had the past couple of years. It kind of takes a while because since the Saints like to mix it up so much, you're gonna have a little bus here and there where the communication isn't all there. And by the time last 2 years, it got really good because they played together. Malcolm Jenkins just knew everything that was going on. Marcus Williams knew everything that was going on, and everything was just beautiful. But that takes time. So I just say, just kind of like something to keep in the back of your mind. Don't freak out if in week 2, they're blowing a busted coverage, for 90 yards or something. It doesn't mean your secondary is garbage. It just takes a little time to get there. But hopefully, that doesn't happen a lot.
I will say, yeah, that's a great point. And again, that's why it's going to be fun and interesting to watch these Zoom live streams during the preseason, because we'll get to see a little bit of something that I noticed in the Ravens game, preseason game that this past season, is when the Saints were on defense, the communication skills was just through the roof, bro. Like you could see it. Like they were checking with each other, and if it was man coverage, excuse me, especially, what you could tell what they were doing is they were reminding each other of what the switch was, right? Remember those? Yeah, remember those Devin Bro days, bro? That Odell.
Didn't know what to do in those bunches.
That bunch and pick routes, bro. We
could not figure it out. That was the killer, because it's a man killer. We like to run man, and if you want to kill man
beaters,
you just put the man beaters out in the bunches. But man, watching them point them out, boom, you get him, I get him.
Yep.
Good. Okay, let's go. And then I loved it, bro. It was just like, that's porn. That's like
it was, bro. Like brought a tear to my eye, like made me emotional. So watching it in preseason and seeing how they kind of deal with little stuff like that is gonna be interesting. I'll say this too, and I think it's something that kind of Tyrann doesn't have the luxury of having a Patrick Mahomes at quarterback anymore.
No,
he doesn't have the luxury of playing for the Chiefs, where it's like we can kind of like not go hard, but we can pick it up. Like I get you playing the NFC, it's gonna be the NFC South, but like them taking the plays off kind of thing. Like
all that, he got to play in that 2011 Saints defense mentality. Like, man, look, let's just keep them under 30. We good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bro. Like, we got to defend every blade of grass.
Everyone, bro.
And he could do that, man. I always think about, can't remember the year. I don't know if it was 14. I think it was 2015 when he was with the Cardinals. We played them week 1. And man, I remember Honey Badger was just living in the backfield, bro. I was just like, God damn.
Oh, it was 2015.
15, yeah.
Because I actually had bought, it was week 1. I had bought a ticket to go to that game, and I was going to drive to Arizona, but I had just started at Probation's Academy and didn't know if I wanted to like do a day trip and drive all the way to Arizona on a Sunday morning, go, and then come all the way back and then have to be up a Monday at 4 a.m. because we all carpooled to the academy. And so I had bought the ticket. I couldn't, for whatever reason, I wasn't able to sell it. And that was just money that I just ate. And then I remember watching that game at home, and that was Stephon Anthony. And this nigga was like, got lost on David Johnson for like the game touchdown.
And I was coaching terrible.
Yes. And I remember I was like, I could have been at this game.
Now, to be fair, that was Honey Badger 7 years ago. So, he had a couple of ACLs since then, so he's not the same dude. He's going on 30 years old. But just the veteran savvy, to know what he's seeing, just like we got from Malcolm Jenkins these past couple of years, man, where, his athleticism wasn't what it used to be, but he's just so smart, could diagnose things just so quickly before the ball is even snapped. Mm-hmm. That just helped, man. And I think just having all those players around him, even like with the Chiefs, he had some talent on the Chiefs defense, but I put Saints defense above Chiefs defense. Easily. So, I think he got more help to where it's not all on him, because with the Chiefs, you can tell watching him, he just felt like he had to be the one to make a play sometimes to get the ball back into Mahomes' hands so Mahomes can go and win the game. That's not going to be this type of, we might need him to do that sometimes, but really it's going to be about, limiting points as much as possible so the Saints offense can, get funky.
Yes, whatever the definition of funky may be. And I said this yesterday on the pod, or last night on the pod, I should say, is like, I pretty much said, like, if Matthew's like, if Honey Badger comes, I can't see them spending money on Honey Badger and Jarvis Landry. And then Jarvis Landry quote tweeted, Honey Badger coming home and was happy for him. And everyone that says Twitter was in Jarvis Landry.
Just please.
Like, nigga, we coming for you too.
I'm just saying, if the Saints really want to blow the rooftop off and really just, like, look, will it work, will it not? Who knows?
We don't know.
Will it, is it worth the money to do it? Don't know. But, like, if you just want, please, like, they put out a little, Ride tweeted it out, like a little questionnaire.
Oh, the questionnaire, bro.
Like, why is fan attendance going down? Is it because of Mike Thomas injury? Is it because of Drew Brees left? No, motherfucker, because shit is boring to watch. Like, boring. So, like, if you want to blow the rooftop off and get asses in the seats, bring two LSU boys, Jarvis Landry, and you got Tyrann Mathieu. Oh, and they're also good players. Like, they are good players.
Yes.
It's not like just bringing them in because they got names. They're actually good players that can contribute for your team in positions of need. So just do it. Do it. Like, nobody will, like, give you a F grade for it. Like, you won't be hurt by it. Like, just do it, man. Like, figure it out. I don't know the numbers. I don't know where Saints salary cap is and all that stuff. But Kai Harley, man, bro, like, that dude can figure that shit out, man. To figure it out.
Look, that's a walking accountant, bro.
I mean, how much we paying Traquan? Like, what, $4 or $5 million or something? It's like, come on, now.
Is it? No, there's no way.
It's something like that, right?
He came back for, now I gotta look it up. He came back for 2 years. I think it's like $2 million.
Okay. All right.
Because I think it was a 2-year deal. No, okay, so it's 2-year deal, $6 million. So he's getting $3 million a year.
Okay.
So
but still, it's like, come on, man. Like, come on.
Fucking Trey Card, $3 million. Like you say, you can't drive a Landry, you can't figure out how to get to 9 or 10. And like knowing the Saints, bro, that 9 or 10 would just be like what? Like a signing bonus.
Right.
Just pay it up front.
Pay it up front, man. Write that check. Keep it moving, man. Like the dude he's been productive.
Yes.
Everywhere he's been at, regardless of the quarterback he's playing with. So, like, man, bring him on down, man.
Just
if he's willing to do it, at least give it a shot.
Just think of what our perception would be for the offense.
Oh.
If the offense is potentially AK, and I think as AK's courts get suspended more and more, or gets continued more and more, the potential suspension for him may get put off. Like he might not even get suspended this season. It may be like a next season type of suspension, potentially, right? But you have AK, you got whatever version of Mike Thomas we get back. Let's say he's 80%, 75% of old Mike. You have Olave. You have you have Olave. You have Jarvis Landry. Like that nucleus in itself, like you could, and then in theory, your offensive line, besides right guard, should be better, especially if you've invested in, the 19th pick in an offensive tackle. You would assume he starts, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe he starts off as just being an extra 6 offensive lineman coming in on different type of downs. Like that gets you going. Like as a fan, you should be like, shit, we have like an offense that could maybe be, because that offense would just need to be like top 15-ish, bro. Like,
exactly. Now you're looking at like a playoff team.
Yes.
Now you're looking like a serious playoff team.
Yes. 100%.
So that's why I'm just like, man, come on, Saints. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Don't have sell yourself, man. Like, go all the way.
Can't get halfway pregnant, bro.
I'm saying, man. Like if that's the case, don't sign Tyrann Mathieu. Don't keep that money.
Like Clint said, don't give me hope.
Don't give me hope, bro.
Give me hope, bro. I'll say this. I think it was a damn good signing. And I have my expectations for the defense this season as for sure it's better, bro. Because I'll say this, bro. If they didn't sign Honey Badger, we could have been looking at Daniel Sorensen starting. I don't care what anyone tells me. I firmly believe that. Also, I'll ask you this, and I'm assuming he doesn't make the team. I'm assuming he's going to get cut. But if you're able to, what do you think you could get for Zach Bond? Like a sixth, a seventh?
Nothing. Maybe a conditional seventh.
Yeah, I can see the Patriots still
like just like Trey Patriots, like, hey, if he plays this many games, or makes the 53-man roster. Like that's it, man. Like, cause he ain't done nothing. He's done nothing. Nothing, man. Like he had a good preseason game. Like a decent week 1 last year, and then just got abused against Sam Darnold. It's like, what are you giving for that? You know what I'm saying?
I knew it, bro.
I really want to know. I just wish I could sit down with DA just for 5 minutes, and just be like, what are your thoughts on Zach Bond? Like, what was the plan?
Why
not use him as a pass rusher?
What he did in college.
Why not? Why not use him as like an Anthony Barr Poor man's Andy Barr. I just want to know.
Yeah, I don't think he's a part of the Saints next season.
Nah,
he's probably getting cut. I'll ask you this: we talking about offense. Would you bring back Jared Cook on a 1-year deal?
Man, look at them Saints fans don't want it.
Well, yeah, bring him back, bro.
They don't want it, bro.
Just say it, bro. You know shit. The state of the tight end position of the Saints is bad. When you and I would rather them bring back Jared Cook on a 1-year deal rather than watch Adam Troutman and Juwan Johnson attempt to play football at the tight end position, bro. Like, do you know how sad that is?
Man.
Like, them dudes could have drafted a tight end 1 in the second round. They got a cornerback who I don't know who's gonna see the field, bro. Like, unless it's special teams, which sure, but like I don't know how you gonna see the field.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I will say I'm excited because we won't get preseason games until August-ish. But man, like, I'm excited for the preseason to start, and I say that now, and then by like the second game, I'm like, okay. But I'm excited to watch these preseason games with the rest of like Saints Twitter and our Patreon group, bro. Because we gonna be cutting up watching the preseason games, bro.
I need that.
Cutting up, bro.
Because preseason is always fun, man, because then you have like some of these UDFAs that break out.
Yeah.
So it's always fun. And then you get to hear about, like, all through training camp, you hear about certain players that come preseason. Where they at? Nobody.
Emmanuel Butler, bro.
Butler still waiting.
Still waiting, bro.
Catch a ball.
Also, just getting back to like Honey Badger, I could probably say this, and the Saints have the one like with this current defense, the top 3 most physical defenses in the NFL.
Oh, bro, just physical attitude, just pestering, like a pestering defense. Like, offenses will hate this defense. Absolutely
hate them, bro,
because they are all pestering, man. Like, even like dudes like Smoke. Like, I don't know if he makes the team or not, but like that dude Smoke is pestering. You know what I'm saying? Deuce, Tyrann Mathieu, PJ Williams taking knees out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
PJ always going low, nigga.
He going low, taking knees out, man. Like, they will hate this defense, bro.
Hate them, bro.
And look, man, like, if that's what we want to hang our head on, like, let's go. I'm with it.
That's why. As much as we did not like the pick, and hopefully, Taylor from Tennessee makes us eat crow just like Pete Warner did. But as much as we were down on Pete Warner, I do think, and we were talking about Peyton Turner just playing well. Like, if Pete Warner takes another step, like, that's going to be huge. But I feel like if you bring Quan back, and the way he at times were able to cover tight ends and running backs in the flats at times, bro, that was just so crucial to our defense. Crucial to it. And it's like, that to me is worth like a minimum contract or whatever that looks like.
Absolutely. Like, bring him back, man. Like, what's taking so long?
Can we talk about this whole UFA tender that I had no fucking idea about?
Please, bro.
Like, so basically there's different types of tenders in the NFL. And I'm talking about the app, you freaks out there. I'm talking about like TENDER. There's a franchise tender, there's the transition tag. So the franchise tag, transition tag, and then there's tenders where like if a player went undrafted, you can assign like a tender to them that if they sign with another team, then that other team has to provide you whatever draft pick you tendered the player at. So there's a tender called the UFA tender. Let me look at it real quick because I sent it to you earlier. So it's the UFA tender, which stands for the undrafted free agent tender. And it means that if a player signs with a new team before July 22nd or the first day of training camp, he would count towards the compensatory pick formula. Otherwise, the team that tenders, so if the player doesn't sign with another team before July 22, the team that places the tender on that player only has the rights to negotiate with that said player. Had no idea that existed. No clue.
Never heard of that.
Never. And so I guess 2 players today got it. So Melvin Ingram of the Chiefs got it, and then there was another player from another team that I believe that got it. Or I don't know if they're both Chiefs player or a different player. But that is wild. That is wild to me. Like, I follow the NFL extremely closely. I know most things in the NFL. Had no idea that such a tender even existed. Oh, it was Justin Houston. So Melvin Ingram got it from the Chiefs, and Justin Houston got it from the Ravens.
Like, I'm trying to think who we could have used that on.
I would say, like, I don't know if it counts now because he visited with the Jets, but you could theoretically have used it on Quan, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, so if they sign with the new team before the date, then they'll count towards the the comp pick formula. If they remain unsigned, then the 2021 squad will have the exclusive negotiating rights, meaning that the player will either return to the organization or will sit unsigned. What?
How have I never heard of this? Like, you gotta be new.
I've never heard of that. But yeah, like they could, I don't know if they still can, again, because he went and visited a team like the Jets, but like I would imagine the Saints could apply this tender to Quan Alexander and basically be like, if you sign with another team, you're not, it'll mess up our comp pick formula, which I don't think they potentially maybe not care about. But if you don't sign with another team, you can only negotiate with us. That's it. Never heard of it.
That's wild, son.
Wow. So we're wrapping this up. We didn't want this to be a full episode, but again, it's the NFL. Want to hit on it real quick. This Nuke suspension, bro. 6 games. Nuke Hopkins not gonna be there for the Cardinals. He's feeling kind of nasty in Arizona, bro.
Yeah, man.
And it sounds like the Cardinals knew the suspension was coming, which made them, move towards like the Marquise Brown trade. And I was like, so you knew that Nuke Hopkins was going to get suspended for 6 games. So you thought trading the 23rd overall pick to Hollywood Brown? What? What? Like, I talk about the Saints' bad decision making quite a lot, bruh. That is awful.
But then in a draft with like 20 wide receivers, like
again, I can't speak for him in totality because of there's off-field stuff with him. There was like the character stuff. You're telling me that at 23, if I had an option to pay maybe drafting George Pickens, Christian Watson, bruh, I'm getting one of them dudes before I fucking trade for Hollywood fucking Brown. But let's not forget, Hollywood Brown played with Kyler at Oklahoma. Maybe this is kind of like a here you go. Here, Kyler. Here you go. Here's your good buddy. Like, just say it, bro. But just talk just quick. Like the whole mess in Arizona. You have the whole college situation, which is just uneven. I don't care what's coming out of either of their mouths. It's awkward. It's weird. So you have the shit with Kyler. Nuke Hopkins is gonna miss 6 games, and so right now your starting receivers are Hollywood Brown, AJ Green, and Rondale Moore. we're gonna do the Saints Twitter fantasy football league, but I'm cashing in all the bets on Trey McBride, bro. This man gonna get worked. You'll have plenty of shares. It just seems like a team that is just floating in the like wrong direction.
Yeah, and look, man, like, hey, man, maybe next year the Saints might have a chance at Colin. Like, you never know. I know we ain't got no first round pick,
but I know it, and this would be the most Saints thing ever. Well, couldn't you see it? Hypothetically, the Cowboys have a down year, which I could see. Wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys had a down year at all. And Mike McCarthy gets fired. Jerry goes big fish hunting. He finally gets Sean Payton. Cowboys give up 2 first-round picks to trade for Sean Payton. Then Mickey and Jeff then take those 2 first-round picks and trade for Kyler. Probably wouldn't just take 2 first-round picks. It would be more, but they would use at least those picks to try to like that. Wouldn't that be like that? Wouldn't shock me at all. Wouldn't shock me in the least.
No. That wouldn't. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever. At all. I think they kind of depending on them Sean Payton picks, bro.
That's dangerous, bro. I don't think it feels like they are banking on them getting something back for him.
Absolutely.
But they got to realize that the longer he doesn't come back to football, like the less value that they're gonna get.
Exactly.
Because the worst thing for them is Sean Payton. He's signing a contract with Fox to be a studio analyst. Sean may be like, man, I don't got to stress about game plans and shit no more. I can just talk football and get paid. Shit, I don't know, but Sean just strikes his just personality, man. Like he's just so competitive. Like, yeah, I don't know, like so, but it just really feels like they're just kind of. And this is something
he got time. It's not like he's 70 years old, so he could.
True.
Like Gruden, like he could do like 5, 6, 7 years and still come back to coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no rush. There's no rush to it.
Something I will say though, and this is something I learned a long time ago. Something that my family taught me, and I'm talking to the Saints, bro. You can't count chickens before they hatch, bro. Can't count the chickens before they hatch. Can't do it.
Who's like that, boy?
Can't do it. Like if you just think something.
I do it all the time. Like, I'm gonna have this much money. Nope, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's how you end up counting like nests, bro. Just doing your taxes, just trying to figure shit out. Like, oh shit,
I gotta pay this year.
I miscalculated. But anyway, we just wanted to get this episode out. Emergency episode. Finally a good emergency episode, bro. We've been doing some depressing emergency episodes.
Right?
I think this might be one of like the better ones, bro. We did the Malcolm Jenkins emergency episode, Sean Payton stepping down emergency episode, all of the Deshaun Watson's emergency episode.
Jesus.
Finally a good one, bro. Finally a good one. I'm glad. But hopefully within maybe a week or so, maybe we might be doing another good emergency episode of Jarvis Landry signs. But we'll hold on. We'll wait and see. But that said, as a Saints fan, like, you gotta be happy. Like, and I think now, and this is going to go down to coaching, but I do think I now see them as a playoff team in the NFC. Before the draft and before the signing, I was very skeptical, but now I can kind of firmly see them as a playoff team in the NFC.
I think so, man. Because one, the NFC does not impress me.
No.
Falcons don't. Cardinals don't. Tampa is Tampa. It's going to be a dog fight. I know we beat them handily over the last couple of years, but you can't
count on that every season.
You can't count on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a dogfight, man. But I do like our chances. I do like, which is crazy to say. Just at this point, on this tenure of the Saints, that they do got a chance to be a playoff team.
Absolutely. And I feel a lot more confident about that now than I did pre-draft. I think
no question.
I think like the Chris Olave selection in itself kind of just changes the whole entire dynamic of the offense. It really does. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolous when I say that. Like, that is a true statement. Like, he can come in, and it might be a little hard as a rookie, but like he could be a legit wide receiver too as a rookie.
I mean, Greg Rosenthal think he's gonna have the most yards as a rookie of all the wide receivers.
I can see it, bro. I really could.
Like, ooh, why don't you shut up, Greg? Why don't you put that shit out there? Hate when Greg do that, man.
Greg always put the jinx on us, bro. Always put the jinx on us. But like, even Greg, he texted me. He's like, man, this Olave drafted and Tyrann. He's like, I might have to become a Saints fan again. You know what, Greg? I mean, that's fine, but you don't got to write about it. Just be.
Don't write about it, man.
Yeah, just be quiet.
Keep it in the DMs. Keep it in the text.
That's it. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back. We do, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, we do have some guests lined up. We're gonna try to get Greg Cosell come on here, talk about the Saints draft class. I know Greg ain't gonna need. I know after round one, Greg ain't gonna know any of these dudes, bro. It's okay, bro.
Greg gonna be like, I haven't watched him yet. I watched over 300 players, but Alante Taylor, this is one I had come across.
It's funny because it's true as shit, bro.
No, you ain't watching no damn Alante Taylor, man.
Anyway, we're gonna try to get Greg Cosell on the pod so he can break down the Saints draft class in depth. Kind of just talk to him about schematically the defense. Schematically,
that's what I really want to talk to.
So that's Greg is your responsibility to get. You reach out to Greg. We can get it set up. I don't care. I mean, I do care with the date and the time, so it has to work with our schedule. But you reach out, we get it set up. I want Greg on this bitch and just talk about like a football porn episode of just what is Chris Olave draft and how does that change the offense? Honey Badger being Marcus May, how schematically, what are some things DA can do? Bro, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to talk about it. But we got some things in the pipeline coming y'all's way. So, stay tuned, continue to support us, and we got y'all covered. So with that, we're going to get out of here. Enjoy it. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the signing. Like, he's like, Honey Badger came home, bro. Like, that's big.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, so just enjoy it. Truly, truly enjoy it. With that, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back. We're out.
Peace.
What does innovation sound like? It sounds like the luxury of being in the moment with your customer, client, or patient. It sounds like having the right information right when you need it. It sounds like being at your best for your customers and your business. Thanks to Hyland's intelligent content solutions that improve digital processes, innovators everywhere are able to do their thing better, whatever that thing is. Now, who doesn't like the sound of that? Hyland, for innovators everywhere. Visit hyland.com.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.